Okay. Hi everyone. Whoever is gonna be watching this. My name is Tina Wang or Wang Shouyuan. I'm Chinese, but I currently go to school in the States and I'm 16 years old, but I'll turn 17 very, very soon. I'm currently in quarantine. I just got out of a really long shower. In the shower, I was planning to come out finally, like make this official to my family, because I'm pretty sure that I am not straight. I haven't just withholding that information because, like I've said, fear of embarrassment, and also just like how we basically don't really talk in our family. And also second, I didn't really feel the need or like the urge to do it. But I think if I just kept on withholding this information from the people who are supposed to be the closest to me, it will never ever feel real in a way. Anyways, this is the end of the intro. See you guys in a bit.
啊，
啊，
看看我的耳机，现在可以了，
现在可以听得到了吧？
听到了，用耳机就可以了。是要访谈吗？
你能看得到我现在分享的这个屏幕吗？王姐，你可以搜出屏幕的 ，Thank you。
什么屏幕？
但是，我可以确定，我不是异性恋者，就是我不是只喜欢男的。然后我觉得你可能已经知道了，但是我还是想告诉你。Hello, it's Tina from now, which is May of 2024. First of all, it was so weird seeing the previous two clips of myself because I looked so different, especially in the first clip, and also sounded way different. My voice was weirdly high-pitched back then. And beside the drastic change in appearance that kind of weirded me out, it was also it was not a weird feeling, but I realized as I was listening to myself talk that I'm still trying to figure out a lot of the same things that I was trying to figure out like 2 years ago. I now identify as a queer non-binary individual, and I started going by she, they since last school year, but I'm still very much so in the process of exploring what being non-binary means to me, especially earlier on, like this school year, because I got a buzz cut last August, like right before I came back to school. The buzz cut, as it turns out, really messed with my perception of self and like how I express myself, especially via clothes. I was having a mini wardrobe crisis pretty much throughout September all the way to like November. I don't know, because last summer I was rocking like very Y2K, very feminine sort of silhouettes, and the clothing that I was wearing, I had like shoulder length hair before I got the buzz cut, but the clothing I was wearing back then did not match with the buzz cut. I couldn't explain it. Like, I don't think of myself as someone who like strictly adheres to like heteronormative way of thinking, but I don't know, I don't know. But the reason why I brought up that anecdote and why I'm filming this right now is that I want another intro that's gonna help contextualize all of the amazing interviews that you're about to see. Some of the interviewees are my friends, and some of them are complete strangers that I just met in a bar. But I wanted to reach out to them and ask the questions because there are questions that I ask myself, like in my head a lot of the times. And how can I weave this in seamlessly? To me, being queer and non-binary and whatnot all come down to this fundamental desire to keep on exploring and evolving. And it's this sort of refusal to be tethered to one thing only. And I'm trying to tie this back to what I was talking about earlier, like at the beginning of this intro, about how I was weirded out and like, damn, I'm still trying to figure out the things that I was trying to figure out when I was 16. But now I figure that I probably will keep on contemplating on these topics and things like forever. Like it's meant to be part of the experience. It's sort of like the journey itself is the destination. That's how I perceive being non-binary and queer. Yeah, and I think so far it's been a very beautiful and gratifying journey, but at times it can definitely feel confusing and lonely, and I'm also someone who's so prone to becoming jaded. So yeah, I want to make this documentary and reach out to all these people because I thought it'd be helpful and fun. And I hope you, whoever's watching this, queer or not, will find all of these interactions endearing and intriguing as I do them. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Let's take off to queer places.
我叫 Charles， 广东，29， 21年8月，因为那个刻在你心底的名字，然后当时其实开这家吧是因为跟我前任一起开的，然后那时候是他家里面有出现一些事，然后我一直在帮他，然后我妈是一直跟我说，就要有自己的生意啊什么，因为我自己本来早上会有工作嘛，然后说了很多年，因为我妈也认识我前任，然后后面就去了上海的一家叫 Atlas 的一家 gay 吧，就一家小清吧吧，也是靠跳的，然后后面就觉得这个方向也不错，因为他本来就喜欢喝酒，然后所以就慢慢有探店啊，然后就慢慢去做起来。家里跟他的原因吧，然后而且我觉得深圳其实它 LGBT 没有一个这种类型的酒吧，因为其实它到了晚一点就人会很多，其实大家都不认识，然后在这里认识，然后不管是 les 直男直女 gay， 其实他们的话题性啊，还有各种工种啊都能聊到里面，然后而且还蛮放松的，因为很多人他是需要社交去放松，而不是去蹦迪。但这一块会比较难做，是因为深圳的人会比较浮躁一点吧，就上海、北京那些会比较成熟。
感觉深圳人太忙了。
对。
My name is Amy. I'm 16, but I'm turning 17 in a few days. And I'm from China, but I live in Australia. And my hobbies, I'm a beginner nail artist, so I do my own nails and I do other people's nails. And
wait, I need to get like a shot of your nails.
Yeah. And I love watching TV shows and movies. I guess, is that a hobby?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Your pronouns.
My pronouns are she, her. If you asked this question to me like 2 years ago, I would say I was like bi or like pan. I'm not sure, but right now I wouldn't really label myself. I think I'm like open to anything. And the first, like, wait, what was your second question? It was in the late, like, end of like November 2019 when I went to this like UK boarding school and I was like living in a dorm, and I remember
Is it all girls?
it wasn't all girls, but there was this girl in my grade that was like super nice to me, and I don't know why, I just really liked being around her, but it was so weird to like my other friendships. But like after that, like a few months later, I knew that I actually kind of liked her. But, like, I actually liked her boyfriend first. But I didn't know they were together. And then, like, after I knew the girl, I actually started liking the girl. And I didn't like her boyfriend anymore. But it was super weird. I would say when I watched, what's it called? RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah. Like, I think that was back in 2019. It was also in England. So I guess England really did something to me. So... yeah, but and okay, yeah, I also, so back in 2020 when I first realized that I may be a little bit, you know, I just started watching a lot of like gay movies, if that makes sense.
Was that when you first when did Call Me by Your Name came out?
I have no idea, but actually I haven't watched Call Me by Your Name yet, but I watched a bunch of like lesbian films.
Ooh, what's your favorite piece of like queer media?
Oh, Bound? Do you know?
Sounds really...
it's like an old one.
Sounds really familiar.
I was fighting with my parents one time and like it just burst out. But like it never really got that.
It's like not official.
Yeah, like it kind of went there, but like my mom was like, I don't really
know. She was like, honey, we know.
No. But my family isn't against all that. Like they're very supportive, and I'm really happy that I have them. But yeah, I haven't really like sat on a table and told them, hey, mom and dad, I'm like gay. But yeah, I don't really think I will ever will, because
like, you don't really have that urge to...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like every time I like
randomly bring back like a girlfriend.
Yeah, I probably will, because I like every time I see like a hot girl or a hot guy on social media or like on the streets, I like tell my mom, and like she does not care, and like she supports me. And even my grandma, she like asked me, are you gonna date a girl? And I'm like, I might. And she says they don't care, so I guess yeah.
That's cute. Oh, sorry.
我是尼莫，尼莫就是那个《海底总动员》的那个小丑鱼尼莫。我今年26岁，26岁，97年生，然后3月5号双鱼座。我来自江西景德镇。Girl in Red。那个我是经常会听，我游泳的时候的会听的歌。他们有一首 Red， 不是有一首 Girls 跟那个。反正有几首歌我是一直会听，然后游泳的时候听。
We fell in love in October。
对，就是那首歌，哎，那首歌。Yeah。就正常一个喜欢男生的男生。No， 没有，因为我会觉得这是一种毁灭性的伤害。因为我其实出生在一个刻板家庭，就是一个传统性的家庭。那其实父母对这一块的接纳程度呢，是需要很长的时间的。但我的爸妈其实传统家庭里的话，他其实接受程度没有那么高。你告诉他们，无疑是对他们的一个伤害。会给，但是呢，我会有一个很合理的理由搪塞过去吧。可能我会说，就是事业为重。因为毕竟还年轻，26岁，可能会在30岁、40岁，他们是想的，我能看着他们很想，但是说我们能过多久算多久吧，就是因为我比较不会去太考虑未来几年后的生活，我只会考虑未来几个小时我会做什么。
还不错哦，但是他们其实不是很赞同我来上海发展，因为他们其实是江西景德镇是做陶瓷的，
我
们
去年夏天时候
对，然后我们是景德镇人嘛，然后我爸妈是做陶瓷艺术的，所以可能是我在很小的时候呢，他们就会。
你有做过陶瓷？
当然，因为我家去做这个嘛，就我在很小的时候我就知道我要考景德镇陶瓷大学，因为就可能是宿命是这样子的，就是他们会觉得我应该就是做这件事情，但是我并没有做这件事情，可能是一个很大的一个矛盾。我现在工作是做 marketing， 做市场，就是香水品牌的市场的负责。do for
OK free promo
yeah do for
我叫 Michelle， 年龄18，来自广东深圳，然后我的 pronoun 是 she/her。喜欢的3个歌手是 SZA、New Jeans 还有 Biba Doobie。我认为我是一个也许是泛性恋或者全性恋的顺性别女生。应该是我初3的时候或者初2的时候，是因为我后桌有一个女生，她跟我说她是一个 lesbian， 然后呢她也是谈女朋友，然后我跟她关系就蛮好的，就是我会经常问她说就是关于我的性取向这方面的疑问，因为我发现我从小对女生好像还是有不想要当朋友的那种情感。如果不那么严肃的回答的话，也许是小学的时候，我看一个电视剧，然后是台湾的，然后那个电视剧的内核就是这个2个男人，总而言之就是他们有一个共同的，不知道是女朋友还是怎么之类的，反正就是这个女生在医院诞下一名女婴，然后呢这个女生就跑了，然后呢
这个女生跑了，
对，然后这个女婴就没有人照顾了，然后他们俩同时赶到医院，然后呢发现这个女生已经不在了，所以他们俩就共同抚养这个小女孩。
请问这个电视剧，这是一个电视剧吗？
对，她的名字叫2个爸爸。对，我最近在看那个 Water Lilies。
支持
呀，他不是
Go watch Water Lilies，
他不是也是花样游泳吗？所以就
per
对，就我之前看了卡罗尔，我还买了个海报准备贴到我的宿舍里。
支持
有的，就之前我应该是上高中之后，然后就是因为住宿，所以周末才能回来，然后我爸妈周5来接我的时候，我就会在车上跟他们聊天，然后那个时候就会有意无意的说，就是 like 我不一定喜欢男生，可能喜欢女生或者怎么样无所谓
soft launching。
对，就是本身就是很开玩笑的说，我就说我也不怎么确定啊怎么样，就没有很严肃的说。然后后面有一天好像是也是在车上，然后我就说也许我就是男生女生都无所谓或者别的，然后我就问他们的意见，他们就一直都说没什么关系吧，没什么意见。首先我觉得生活在深圳这个 LGBTQ 的氛围没有很浓郁，最浓郁的时候是我去商场的时候就能看到
商场
就是 like 我昨天去深圳湾万象城也有，然后万象天地的同性情侣真的很多。我觉得跟我玩的近的都不是直女，就是因为确实跟直女没有什么话可以聊的，就是因为我有高中同学，就是每次见到她就会跟我说她男朋友的事情，然后我就是没 unrelatable 的程度，所以 因为我一直在体制内的学校上学，所以呢，就感觉这样的同学也没有很多。但是初中的时候，同年级会有，同性情侣这样，然后老师好像就也没怎么
初中的时候，
我记得是6班吧。
OK，
就是他们经常会在
所以是同性女生还是男生？
女生，
你觉得如果他们是男生，老师会
yeah maybe， 就是他们可能会阻止一些。我觉得就是社会还是至少我接触到的社会吧，就还是对男同性恋的歧视会多一点。而且我还发现一个很奇怪的现象，就是所有的那种 middle school 的男孩子，他都会觉得就是男同是一个很奇怪的东西，就是他们会很想避讳这个东西。就比如说你说他是男同或者什么的，他就会觉得被冒犯到这样。
我很久没有上过学了，是在中国上学，所以他也很久没有上过学了，所以我们的信息可能有一点差距，并且这只是深圳的学校，没有改卷的意思。
My name is Nyasia Cooper. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Gary, Indiana. Lana Del Rey, Mitski, and Adele.
Well, yes.
My pronouns are they, she. A non-binary black woman. Okay, so I think the first time I became aware of my queerness was in the 7th grade. Because I started to kind of develop a little crush on my friend's girlfriend. You know, and I knew of queerness. I mean, they were cute little WLW couple themselves, and I kind of
in the 7th grade.
In the 7th grade, yeah, and my middle school, and they were a little WLW, a little couple in middle school, and I started to develop a crush on my friend's.
Is Gary, Indiana, a queer place?
Not necessarily. There's not a single gay bar in Indiana. It wasn't like outside of that. Like, you knew when you came to school, it was like a place where you can talk about that. And when you got home, you didn't talk about it. like a 4, to be so for real. Like a 4.
So that's not so bad.
Not too bad. Yeah, it's like a 4.
Would you say that there's more lesbian couples or more gay couples in middle school?
Like, very much lesbian couples. I think it was much more, for some reason, it was much more, like, okay for you to see, like, queer girls or, like, bi girls or girls in relationships than boys. Like, it was definitely, the community itself was sort of, there wasn't a ton of education, so there was a lot of, like, toxic masculinity in places, so a lot of the times, like, you wouldn't really, like, the boys wouldn't really talk about that stuff at all.
Were they like antagonistic about
oh,
it?
Yes.
Or like homophobic?
Oh yeah, like there were. It was like
only
fine.
towards like gays?
Only towards the boys. Only towards the boys though. It was very weird. Like the girls, people didn't have a problem with, because I think also there was like a little bit of like sexualization of it as well, because it was like we're middle schoolers.
And also I feel like
education.
a little bit of like, oh, like this is not for real. Like,
yeah.
No, because
I mean, I'm in school right now for filmmaking and like writing and stuff. I wrote like a 10-page script about this lesbian couple who they were like fiancés. They met when they were in high school. They were young, and it was cutesy. But then they one of them finds out that the other is cheating, and so she spends the rest of, they're like 28 at this point, and she spends like the rest of this like short script like being engulfed by like a bit of jealousy, a bit of hatred, and she ends up burning down the bakery of her ex-fiance's new girlfriend. The media that I will be making will be like queer media 100%, because a lot of a lot of what I feel is like as an artist, I feel like a lot of what I write or what I do tends to come from like either my personal experiences or like the things that I connect with, and I connect with queer culture and connect with queerness. And so if I'm writing a script, best believe the main character is probably gay, like but parts of them, yes, certain parts, yes. My sisters know, like, yeah, basically most of my siblings know, like my friends know. I think everyone except for my mother and my grandmother know. Yeah, like, it's fine. Yeah, like, whatever. Because especially, my brother's also queer, so, like, wasn't an issue. Like, yeah, because I was talking, I think with my older sister, I was just talking about, like, relationships and stuff, and I, like, mentioned, I was like, yeah, like I'm queer, like, I've been, like, in a relationship with, like, a woman before, now I'm in a relationship with a trans mass individual, like, so it's, like, it was fine. It wasn't, no formalities with them. I think I grew up really religious, like, Southern Baptist style parenting and like church every Sunday. And it's not that like I'm like, oh, if I come out there'll be like some crazy thing and like everything, like, you know, it won't be some traumatic situation. It's just that like the people in my life, they're Bible thumpers, and they like they love to be like, well, in Genesis 16:13, and so like I will get the, well, in John 4:5-19, you know, like I will get that, but it won't be anything traumatic. So I'm trying to figure out when I'm in a space where I want to hear Bible thumping. Like, I'm not there yet.
Okay, a very intense stare. Okay, introduce yourself. Your name, your age, where you're from.
Hey, hello, my name
You can
is...
just hold it.
Oh. My name is Ava Purser. I'm 17 years old and I am from Oakland, California.
My pronouns are she, her, and I would just identify as just queer without any kind of specific label. I did. It was more of like a hypothetical kind of like, what if I was like, and then a few years later I was like, well, I have a crush on this girl, and they were like, okay, so.
Oh.
The hypothetical things were like middle school, and then like when I like told them was sophomore year of high school. But I'd say, I don't know, the initial like hypothetical thing was less of a warm, welcoming reaction than the actual like crush. It was all fine. It was just like, also I think that the time was just different because it was like a few years, and within that time things changed like in the area and just on media and all that. Probably not like fully aware until sophomore year, and it was kind of a surprise to even myself because for a while I was just like questioning it and then like convincing myself that I like it wasn't me or it wasn't true until like I had like a crush on another girl, and I was like, oh, okay. Probably the movie The Favorite. Like, I remember it a lot because it was like rated R, and at the time I was like, I might have been in 6th grade, and I went to watch it in theaters with like my family. I was the only kid in the theaters, and like the entire movie theater. So it was an experience, but that's like the first time I really remember.
Was it like about the queen and? Scrubs,
well,
just scared of cat.
This is one that I had the last night at the Telegraph Club.
Takes place.
Oh right, why was this one? Takes place in like San Francisco a while ago, and it was really cool because also like just growing up in like around San Francisco and around the area, and like hearing about like what it used to be like, and like the couple like spend time at like gay bars like in San Francisco. It was just like cool to read about.
How gay would you, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate Oakland?
Oh. It depends where. Like, I don't know.
Do you spend more time in Oakland or in San Francisco?
Oakland. It depends. Like, at different schools that I've been to, it's like very different from like where I am now, like at an art school. It's like very, very, very overwhelmingly large like population of like queer
We do
like
many
students.
gays.
Honestly, like, not that I remember. The only like I knew like it existed and like I'd heard things, but like I really didn't know much, and I didn't like watch a lot of TV growing up, and I didn't get any social media until like either I think like 8th grade or 9th grade. And so I definitely like thought about it, and like I thought about it for myself, but then I don't know like where like the shame came from, like where like in my surroundings where that came from, but it definitely existed in me like for a while, until like there was like a shift in like my environment, and then I was like, okay, it's not the end of the world, it's not like so bad.
Yeah, my name is Jasper. I use he, him, and they, them, theirs pronouns. My age is 26. I'm from Oakland, California. I was born and raised there. My top 3 artists of all time, not necessarily represented by my Spotify, are Torain Future and probably Sufjan Stevens, and then Yves Tumor. Yeah, so I identify as trans masculine, trans man adjacent, and I am also queer. So for me, coming into that identity is relatively more recent, but I first noticed that I was queer probably in elementary school. I had a friend that I was obsessed with. The one time I ever got in trouble in school was we bit each other's necks because we were in a big Twilight phase.
Oh my god! I just started watching Twilight like last night.
I'm actually the reason why the book was banned at my elementary school. So I was such a fanatic.
Okay.
In terms of like my gender, I kind of figured out that I was non-binary or not a cis girl, woman in high school, and I started using like they, them, theirs pronouns, and then throughout college I did that as well, but only like 5 years ago did I realize that I was more on the like trans masculine side of things. So yeah. Middle school, I was like openly bisexual, and that was not taken super well. And like I had like teachers like call me the D slur, like me and my friends the D slur, like in the hallways, and like wild stuff. And then in high school, I received some pushback from teachers around my identity. And so it was just sort of like a weird thing because, yeah, Oakland is like an environment generally where there are a lot of queer people who are like out and open. And like now I have a cousin who's in high school, and he's at the same high school that I went to. And like he basically like a bunch of students like made like a group chat like where they were like saying that they were going to kill him because he's queer. And like it was brought to administration and they didn't really do anything. So I think like, yeah, there's still...
That doesn't sound legal.
No, I think so too. I mean, seems like a huge liability issue. And then like my cousin ended up getting like basically like suspended because they were like, it's not safe for you to come to school. So like, don't come.
They should have suspended the other people.
Yeah. But those other people didn't get like anything from administration that I know of. So there's still like a long way to go for sure. Being a queer educator is difficult, mostly just because you never know students' perceptions and like pre-existing biases and their families' pre-existing biases. Like I had a thing at my old school. I was working at an all-boys middle school, and one of the students...
That sounds like...
Okay, I loved it though. I loved it. But one of my students was like queer, and he was like coming to understand his identity. And his mom was like very homophobic, and she told the principal, she's like, Jasper is like making my son gay, and like obviously that is not true. And also, you know, he only wanted to spend time with me because he knew that I was an affirming person for him to go to. For quite some time in this country, and now also in a resurgence, like it was illegal to be openly queer and be a teacher. And in several states in this country, you know, it's illegal now to be a teacher and be openly queer or trans. I came out to my family. My like nuclear family was pretty like okay with it. But in terms of like extended family, I don't really have any of those connections anymore, especially after I came out as trans. Sexuality was just like a topic that like they were like not willing to broach anyways. And so it was easier to turn a blind eye. But like with gender, there was a lot of pushback. My extended family is mostly like from Brazil, and then it's like Brazil, rural Michigan, and then Slovakia. So it's like not the environments that I think people would think of if they're thinking of like the most queer supportive spaces. So my younger sibling is also non-binary and queer, and so we were sort of in it together. At my previous school, like my best like teacher friend was this 40-year-old Jewish woman, and she's straight and cisgender, but like she has a non-binary kid, and her dad is a rabbi, and like I'm Jewish, and so like it was really cute because she started just like bringing me into all of the like cultural events and spiritual events, and so like I ended up like joining their temple, and it was really great because that was always something that it was hard for me to see myself in that type of environment just because I hadn't seen that sort of space be supportive. But it was like really cool, and she just sort of like enveloped me and wrapped me in, and it was really lovely.
My name is Anastasia. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Russia, St. Petersburg. My pronouns are she, her. But I feel like this year I listened to a lot of Give Me a Tank. This is Russian rock band. So yeah, I identify myself as a pansexual, and I got aware about this, I think in the 6th grade. Should I tell a story?
Sure.
How? So I was like, it doesn't really matter how old were I, but growing up in really like conservative culture, and my parents never really talked about like any transgender people or like just like non-heterosexual people. And for some reason, like I knew that it exists, but I never really like thought about this deeply. But in the 6th grade, my dear friend Vika, she moved from Surgut, a really like north small town, to St. Petersburg. She opened the world for me, I guess. And I think she made me less shy and like more confident in myself and like the life that I'm living. I believe she's bisexual. And the thing, yeah, that's a weird story to tell, but she liked me when I thought that I'm fully heterosexual. And then the same situation was vice versa, that I liked her and she did not really.
In the 6th grade?
I think it was like maybe beginning of the 7th.
Is 6th grade, because in China 6th grade is still considered like elementary school?
No, in Russia it's like first 4 grades is elementary, and then you're like in the middle school.
Okay.
I believe that St. Petersburg is about 6 on the scale of 1 to 10, but this is the queerest city in Russia, I guess. I believe like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, they came up with first, you cannot like...
Be openly gay?
No, you cannot talk about being gay with children or teenagers, and it doesn't really make sense. But a year ago, when I already moved here and like our government is getting more and more crazy, they came up with a policy that like if you openly say that you're gay, or I believe that about trans people it's too, that you can get up to 12 years of jail.
Did you come out to your family? Yes, no, if you... Yeah, I'm asking as if I don't know, but what was your family's like general reaction towards like queerness, LGBTQ, all that?
I did not come out to my family, I guess. My parents and like my grandmothers, they do not know about this. For a few reasons. Of course, I'm scared, and I never like felt the need to come out for them, because there always were like some jokes about, oh, what if I will decide to marry a woman or something like this, and their usual answer was like, you can do whatever you want if it will make you happy, like this is your life, live it however you want. I would probably feel really safe to say this, but I didn't feel like a need to gather them around the table and like, oh guys, no. So yeah. I cannot really like say about first time, but first that I remember and really affected me, I think this was Netherlands. No, not Netherlands. It was Scum. It was like same 6th, 7th grade.
Okay. Did you watch it with that friend?
No, we didn't watch it together, but we constantly like talked about it. Because it would be Call Me By Your Name. Yes.
Actually, like, is it allowed in Russian theaters, or did you watch it like
I watched
a pirated?
I watched it pirated.
Yeah, because they did not. Yeah, I also watch on like a pirate like website, because they're not gonna stream that in China for sure.
But it was good times, because I bought the book as soon as it got translated to Russian, and it was like a really nice summer when I went out, rode a bike, and read Call Me By Your Name.
Did you cry? Did you cry at the end?
Yes, every time when I watch it, I cry at the end.
How many times did you watch Call Me By Your Name?
I think 3 or 4. I showed it to my friends too.
Okay.
Yeah. I made my husband watch it.
Yeah, explain the usage of.
我的外号叫长长，因为这个是朋友这样叫我的。我真名先不透露出来了啊。年龄嘛，我还有8天还是9天就要过22岁生日了。今年是02年的，来自郑州。
我23岁，然后你可以叫我折子。我是浙江人。
我的性取向，我觉得很显而易见吧，是吧？喜欢，以前也是有过人生污点，谈过男的，但是还是更喜欢女生，更喜欢直女。
我是双。
你昨天告诉我这是你第3天在这里工作是吗？
对，今天是第3天，昨天是第2天。我之前就很想来大理玩嘛，很想来云南玩， 然后一直就是没有来过，就是中国的西南部，西南方向嘛，就没有去过任何一个地方，很少来南方玩。然后当时就特别想来大理，来云南玩。来云南之后，先到昆明，然后再来大理这玩。完了之后，我跟我朋友一起逛这个大理古镇呢，就迷路了，找不到方向了，就太饿了，想找一家饭店吃饭的，就莫名其妙拐到这个小巷子里了。然后我抬头看见第一个酒吧就是这个酒吧，当时就有一种归属感了。然后我就转头跟我朋友说，我说我想来这里上班，就真的来了。
就比较多一天嘛。对，但是我在大理待了6个月了已经。对，我是休学过来的。对。
从小就是有一点那方面意识了，只是当时年龄太小，也没有手机什么通信方式，就是有一点朦胧的感觉。然后到12、13，接触一些网络什么的，知道有这个群体，然后我就跟我妈透露了。我有一点点想法，我就跟我妈透露，然后我妈就说随便你。我只在意我妈的想法，我们家其他成员的想法我不太在意，就是关系并不那么融洽，不是个传统的中国式家庭。然后我还说我以后就不可能会什么结婚生子，不能像普通人一样过完他们的一生。我妈还担心我的养老问题，还给我生了个妹妹。我当时14岁、15岁的时候，还14还是15岁啊，我的妹妹就出来了。
你有向家里人就是出柜吗？
没有，我觉得他们也不是反对吧，他们可能没有了解过，而且我跟我爸妈的关系就没有很亲近，就基本很少沟通。比方说我这次来大理，我家人也不知道，他们也不知道我休学了，反正我很多事情他们都不知道。其实我是高中的时候，高中以前我是基本上不是很了解同性恋，可能知道但是不了解。我是高中那会儿剪了短发，剪了短发就很中性那种短发到这边的耳朵上面，然后后来有很多女孩子就是跟我表白什么的。我当时是为了去打篮球方便一点，我当时想学篮球什么的，就夏天可能方便点什么的。然后后来剪了短发，就也没有想到吧，就完全没有意识到这个事情，就是后来突然间很多女生来加我 QQ 啊，因为我们那时候用的是 QQ，那个时候才开始意识到的。我当时就觉得一定要跟他们讲清楚，因为我觉得我当时是直女。主要是我最好的朋友，他是同性恋，他是纯湾的，然后他从高中开始那会儿就开始谈女朋友，对，他到现在也跟他女朋友在一起，算是他应该也有影响到我一些吧。
之前没有见过，好像是近2年，然后我刷短视频的时候有刷到过，没有去看过，只是知道有这个场所，身边的朋友也都不在，我自己就很孤单，就跑出来玩了，也不想在那里待了。我感觉就是思想有点落后吧，有点封闭，他们对男同可能会更歧视，但是对女同也不是说包容吧，只是说不知道有这个情况存在。就像我妈就是知道这件事之前，她甚至都不知道有什么同性恋这个东西的存在。我身边好多就是稍微年龄大一点的，然后那些直的嘛，他们就是听我说才知道有这么一个群体存在，就是之前完全没有想过。所以说如果在大街上跟女朋友亲什么的，大家可能就猜不到是女同性恋。如果是2个男的亲的话，就会觉得他们很怪异。我的经历是很普遍性的，因为我第一个暗恋的对象是我的英语老师，是个漂亮的大姐姐，刚毕业的。这个经历在女同群体来说很正常，太正常了。我从小的时候就是很坦率，就对周围的人说我就是喜欢女孩，然后可能还会遭受一些校园霸凌吧，但是也并不在意吧。可能那个年龄段是在意，这个年龄段已经放下了，看开了。甚至之前霸凌过我的人长什么样子、什么名字我都不记得了，但是我还记得我的英语老师长什么样，对，多漂亮。